This is a new beginning for D-Generation X, and we're here to rip ass on the World Wrestling Federation.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. This is the Wrestling Ring. I'm here with my tag team partner, Ace Williams.
Ace Williams!
And joining us again is... Markadius. So we're going to talk about a few things today. First off, I want to talk about the Raw reunion. I haven't watched it yet, full disclosure, but I have a few comments about it. First off, Cena starting it was stupid.
Cena sucks!
Yes,
Cena
he does
sucks.
indeed.
Cena sucks. Can we just get that as like the audio loop through the whole video?
But I saw some comments online of people saying, well, why didn't you do this for the Raw 25th anniversary? And that's a damn good point. Bringing all these stars back for that. And another comment was, if you're doing this to pump up your ratings, how about you write a better damn show instead of bringing all these people back to pump up your ratings?
Yeah. What? Now, I know you said you didn't watch it all. How much of the show did you actually watch?
I just watched like a half an hour into it, so I didn't even watch the end with Austin and all that stuff. So
I wonder if they were riding on just the Raw reunion, or if the actual fucking Raw had a good story to it. You know what I'm saying?
But even still, the whole reason for the ratings are going to be the stars that were on it. It's
exactly.
But
then you got to think though. It's like our story's the thing that's continuing, not the Raw reunion.
Yeah.
So.
But also AEW, some great news. October 2nd, TNT, from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, AEW debuts.
Yes!
It's going to be a weekly show, 8 to 10 every Wednesday. That's cool. It's so great to see that there's going to be competition. But I watched Fyter Fest, and I know it's blasphemy to bust on NXT because, the fans are so devout. But they're gonna have to change their shit up a little bit. I said this to a friend the other day. I said I don't look at AEW as competition. It's because if you think about it, yeah, AEW has a billionaire backing them, but you're not gonna fill in as many arenas as WWE will. Like you're only gonna get 5,000 people opposed to the 10,000. I don't think direct competition.
Right, I'm just
in that genre.
In that genre of what's better or what do I want to watch more, right.
But I watched Fyter Fest, and they cannot keep concentrating on this shit that works on the indies.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I've seen all the other AEW shows so far.
They're concentrating a lot on comedy and a lot. The indie stars are great because you're drawing in the indie fans. But you need to do backstories on these guys. We need to know who they are and why they're popular and why you brought them. That's Jason Priestley's kid.
Okay. I looked at him. I'm like, really, this kid?
Yep.
Okay.
But I watched Fyter Fest, and I love the Lucha Brothers, and I love the Young Bucks. I know you hate the Young Bucks with a passion. The first three matches, everybody did a backstabber.
Oh, really?
Everybody did a double foot stomp, whether it was off the top rope or just one jumping up. You cannot keep fucking doing that shit because people are going to be like, the casual fan that shows up because it's wrestling, they're going to be like, they're doing the same shit in every fucking match.
Exactly.
They really got to take a hardcore look at what they're doing. Yeah, they've got Adam Page who's doing well. They've got Jericho who changes himself up all the time. They've got Cody Rhodes. They don't have Marty Scurll.
Yeah, but he's coming. He'll be there.
When his contract is up with Ring of Honor, he'll be there.
He'll be there.
But they really do need to take a hardcore look at what they're doing. I love it. I think it's great. But there's a lot of stuff that you can nitpick, and that has me concerned a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Well, that was kind of a little bit of their first show when Cody and Dustin had their first match. And Cody... There was no relevance of why that throne was there other than just to take a shot at the WWE.
Yep.
Now, if you played it up more going into it, or there was more to it afterwards other than just, oh shit, there's Triple H's throne. Oh shit, that means it's on. It's like, give me more meat than just that.
With a 2-hour show, they're going to be able to do that.
Exactly.
But you can't rely on the social media all the time. You've got to have more meat on the bones.
And if I cannot wait to see Jericho weekly or whatever he's gonna do, and another version of him. Like he can almost be the WCW younger Jericho without the WWFE filter that they gave him. You know what I mean? Right?
Yep.
I mean, if that makes sense. Because when he came out against Kenny Omega at their last show, Jesus Christ, why can't I think of the name of it? Double or Nothing.
Yep.
It was awesome. I really loved his intro. He reminded me of like kind of a modern day Michael Hayes as well.
Yep.
Just like that whole I don't even know. I loved him.
The swagger.
Yeah, I loved him all over again. Like,
speaking of Kenny Omega, I don't get it.
I don't either. I like him, but I don't get it.
He has good matches. It just I don't get the hype. I don't get his voice. Fucking annoys me. For one.
What do you mean? I can't even do it. But he's like that weird, like Quebec.
He's so aloof, and it just I don't get the character. I don't get any of it. I really don't.
I just actually maybe 2 weeks ago watched him against the 9-year-old Asian girl. That was kind of sweet. That was kind of a cool match.
I don't get the hype. I really don't. He has great matches. Don't get me wrong.
No,
like his stuff with Okada. I love those matches.
Okada's great. I never really seen him before up until recently. That guy's fucking awesome.
Okada's amazing.
He's really good.
But it just I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. He doesn't have personality. Unless his personality is supposed to be that, hey, I'm goddamn
I don't see where
cool.
he fits with the Young Bucks.
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
Because they're just so annoying.
Well, that's not where I was going with it. But like their sense of humor and stuff, it just I don't know where he fits. Like it. Then again, Adam Page really kind of doesn't either, in my opinion. But
you remember when we first saw him?
Yeah, like the redneck, like wearing the trucker hat with his trunks. And,
never would have thought I like him.
Yeah.
Hangman is a great character, but I like Kenny Omega as a wrestler, but his character, right? Like maybe weekly shows they'll develop more character for him and give him more of like a. He has no rhyme or reason. It's just he's a great wrestler. Let's just throw him in there.
Because if you're expecting casual fans, wrestling fans, to show up to your show, you've got to give them a reason to care about the characters, and you're going to have to set these characters up, not just throw them out there.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of their matches really are. Just, these guys work together good. Let's just put them together without any rhyme or reason.
But then having these past few shows be free was a good idea to get your characters
Is that
out
what they
there.
did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Double or Nothing was a pay-per-view, but the last two were free.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
But that's kind of where I wanted to go.
I'm really looking forward to AEW. I don't want to say the competition word, because when you say that, people misconstrue it and like, oh my god, head to head. It's like they can't. Even though they've got $1 billion guy back.
I don't think they'll make that mistake either.
No, they're going to be smart, I hope. I listened to Jericho on the Collider Live podcast, and this guy, he is just so smart for business, because he basically was saying the same thing. You can't really go into competition with WWE because they are the machine. I mean, WCW did it for 83 weeks straight, but that was because it was a different time. Things were recorded then. They were sabotaging them to get over.
And they were already an established brand as the NWA turning into WCW too, as well.
That's true.
So they, and they had established mainstream stars as well. So
very good point. Because even TNA went head to head with them for a couple months.
And actually, that's
some
of the best ratings they ever had was when they went head to head in 2010.
I was very pleased with it. I thought it was kind of fun. But Hogan.
And I mean, Impact is still around too, so that's.
I guess that's saying something. Because it's something, I guess. The only thing out of the only thing out of Impact that I can see anybody that is going to go anywhere is Tessa.
That storyline with her and Sami Callihan has been really good. I've actually followed that, and I watched the match.
I've seen
really
some of the stuff, but it's just I'm just not invested in that.
Right.
Like I used to be. I love TNA. I love it right up till it basically was ended a few years ago, in my opinion. But I don't know, Tessa. I'm surprised she hasn't thrown her hat towards the WWE or anything like that. I could see AEW scooping her up when they can.
I think a lot of it is she likes to do. A lot of these people, they like to do their own thing, and they don't want to.
They can't do it there.
And she'd have to sign away her name too. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
I think a lot of people don't want to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And then they look at like guys like the Revival and shit that aren't. I mean, they're getting used now, but
look how long it took them, and look where the. Oh, we'll give you the titles. Oh, you can lose the titles again.
Or Gallows and Anderson, they're only relevant when they're with AJ Styles. You know what I mean? It's,
Exactly.
And I think they're going to use that as a vehicle for Balor, too. I think they're going to end up having Balor go with Styles and turn heel and go with Styles and Gallows and Anderson and do the club again. But
which that's you're running your well dry. You're just going back to the things. Yes, you're going back to the things that work. But where are you going to go once that's out? Like I just saw a little thumbnail of Shawn Michaels and Triple H coming to ringside, DX and the Clique coming to ringside to help Seth Rollins out. You're not getting Seth Rollins over.
That's not helping him at all.
Not at all.
Nope.
Yes, that's the nostalgia is totally going to be like, I got to see that because it's those guys. But I'm not tuning in for Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like when Sting wrestled Triple H in the NWO when DX came out. That fucking made sense.
Right, because you had all those names in there that were established that they can't go any higher than where they are. You are now shadowing Rollins to the Clique and to DX and to I don't even know who the fuck they were.
Yeah, and that WrestleMania thing wasn't to, get Sting over. It was just to enhance the match.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that
situation with DX was clearly to try to get the rub on Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. But Mark, what do you think?
You lost me at
We lost you at the Spider-Man episode?
Oh, man.
Markadius, he is full of knowledge. He just doesn't give it up for free. But just do this.
I'm assuming Jericho is Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He was great.
He still is great,
him.
man. He's still great.
He keeps reinventing
just
himself all
look
the
at the
time.
camera and just do this.
What is that?
Too sweet.
Oh.
It's good. You're good.
Okay.
So the main thing we're going to talk about today...
The main thing!
We went to Heroes Hideout on July 13th and happened to meet a Hall of Famer. Oh, you getting your stuff out?
Yeah, just so we can
Visual
show them.
aids?
Well, so we're not liars, and people can be like, oh, they did.
We met Sean Waltman.
I don't know how well you can see these.
Also known as X-Pac.
Also known as... And...
Six-Pac.
1, 2, 3 Kid.
The Lightning Kid.
Jesus,
the Kamikaze Kid.
Jesus Christ Kid.
But since you got into wrestling a little bit later than I did...
It's only because he's older than me.
When was X-Pac your first introduction to him?
Gosh, you know what? I want to say... I got into wrestling in 96. It was definitely 96, late 96. So yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point, he had already...
He was in the NWO in 96 and 97.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember I didn't watch NWO stuff, so I don't recall that. I feel like the first time I ever saw X-Pac was when Triple H introduced him.
Yeah, in Albany.
Yeah, I truly believe that was the first time I ever saw him.
Which is really cool that was in Albany. And,
yeah, absolutely. Yep. I mean, because of course I've seen the video a million times since I've been a kid into now, but I remember just vividly as a kid Triple H being like, you go back to your roots. You go back to your blood. And then... X-Pac comes out to... I don't even think he had music. It's just...
No, he just came out.
He just came out.
He might have come out to the DX theme.
Right.
He might have played the DX theme.
And he just came out in, the black leather jacket with a black shirt on. With
the jeans and the bandana.
With the jeans, the red bandana. I believe that was truly my first taste.
And cut a huge promo on Bischoff and Hogan.
Yeah.
And
you motherfucker! I can't do his voice because it's kind of deep. But.
I can't cut the mustard. Well, Hulk Hogan, you suck, pal.
Right, you suck, pal.
Yep, and we're here to rip ass on the World Wrestling Federation.
Yes.
That was
awesome.
Yeah, my first introduction was as the 1, 2, 3 Kid. Well, not even before that, actually, when he beat Razor Ramon as the Lightning Kid.
I was gonna say 1, 2, 3 Kid or Lightning Kid. Okay.
But that was totally out of the blue because that stuff never happened.
Exactly.
I mean, the Barry Horowitz, jobber thing hadn't even happened yet. I mean, he was Lightning Kid. He was a jobber. They changed his name every fucking match.
Yep. And small little scrawny guy in a world of mammoths.
And he did that moonsault off the top rope and caught Razor Ramon and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And Heenan's like, he beat him? Just freaking out as if he didn't actually beat him. And then they led up to every week Razor Ramon offering more money to get him into the ring. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up being $10,000. And then Kid, he knocked himself out during the match. He landed on the concrete, knocked himself out, and grabbed the bag full of money and just ran away. And then DiBiase was making fun of Razor Ramon for losing, and that turned Razor Ramon babyface.
Right.
You know, and it just, and then, you know, it was like the little buddy dynamic, the 1, 2, 3 Kid and Razor Ramon, and that,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, got him some credibility. And
now, were they? I mean, this is going to go behind the scenes, but were they like the Clique at that point?
I don't think it was quite at that point, but then they
probably the more they worked together.
Yeah,
the more...
and they were drinking buddies, and you know they were doing drugs and all that
buddies,
stuff.
yeah.
And you know they would. I heard on a shoot interview, Nash was saying they would just get a huge Econo van, and they would just all load into the van, and they would whoever was sober would drive to the next town, you know. And that's when they found Triple H. They loved it because he never drank, so he would always drive, and they could just get fucked up. You know, but
Oh, wait a minute. Triple H.
His favorite wrestler.
My favorite. Come at me, universe. Come at me. I'll bury you just like him.
But one of the great things was in '94 he won the tag titles with Marty Jannetty at the Royal Rumble.
Wow, I don't remember that.
I thought that was really cool that two, you know, underneath guys
completely Jannetty underneath.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, I mean, they lost it like the next week to the Quebecers, but still, I thought that was a really cool twist. And in '95 he won the tag titles with Bob Holly at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And that led into the whole Bam Bam Bigelow LT feud because Bam Bam lost the match and LT was laughing at him. So it's really cool to see how he's connected
it all.
But since talking about '95, I wanted to talk about my memories of the show at the Civic Center. They did a Coliseum video taping at the Civic Center in '95, and he wrestled as the 1, 2, 3 Kid in 2 different matches.
Oh, you've told me that.
He wrestled, because since they tape more than one video at a time,
right? He
wrestled the Roadie, the Road Dog.
The Road Dog is his next partner down the line.
Yeah, in a singles match. And then him and Razor Ramon tagged against the Roadie and Jeff Jarrett, which I thought was really cool. And kayfabe was still kind of in at that point.
Right.
So a lot of people were like, "Why are they wrestling twice?" And they weren't really paying attention that they were doing 2 tapes at once. Right. You know, so I thought that was really cool. And I actually mentioned to him to him at the signing, and he was like, "Yeah, we used to tape shit all the time."
Right.
You know, it was like pretty much every show we did, they were taping something.
Well, since we're mentioning our interaction with him, the guy didn't even know he was number 30.
I was going to mention that.
Okay, all right.
But you had him sign your Royal Rumble 2000 poster.
I did. I wish I had it right here, right now. I'd open it up, but yeah, I did. I have a Royal Rumble 2000 poster that I bought off of Mick Foley. We went and had
we talked about that on one of our shows.
It was at one of our Chief J Strongbow dinner we went to. Bought this awesome ass poster. Mick Foley's the first guy to sign it. I've had a slew of other, greats, not even just guys, but greats, sign this thing. And of course, X-Pac was the last one just recently to sign it. And so Dave and I were, pretty much just shooting the shit with him for a minute and saying how he was number 30. And he kind of looks at us and goes, "I was number 30?"
He was so confused.
And they didn't even do anything with me? Like, what the hell? And we were like, "Hey, man, we don't know."
I was like, "Yeah, you actually won a match on the Raw before to get the spot." And he's like, "And they didn't do anything with it?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, they didn't do a damn thing with it."
So, that it just goes to show you that even the guys in the know don't know.
Yeah, he was so confused. It was just so funny to watch.
But it was really cool to get to meet him because we're kind of quick. Like, there's so many guys that we'd never think we'd meet.
Yep.
Or that it's like, no, whatever. X-Pac is one of those guys. It just seems like for some reason he was untouchable.
He was never up here. Like, it was just not even in New York City. The wrestling universe. I figured he'd be there at some point. I never saw him there either.
And it's cool to know we've met a couple guys from DX. We've now met a fucking shit ton of guys from the NWO. But we've met 5 out of the 6 members of the Clique.
Yeah.
Like the legit Clique. Nash, Hall, Michaels, and X-Pac. All right, there's 5 of them, so we never met Triple H.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's kind of cool, like a little feather in our own cap of personal, like, why we'd want to meet someone opposed to, they were on TV.
And I mean, out of DX, all we haven't met is Road Dogg and Triple H. That are living, anyways.
Well, unless Steven was here, then that kid's going to name off every
Hornswoggle and Jason Sensation and
Tori and Steven.
Yeah. He'll be here for one when we do a horror episode.
I can't wait to have him and do an episode with him.
The end of '95, he turns heel, and he joins the $1 Million Corporation and becomes like the little buddy of Sid, which I always thought was a really cool dynamic.
They always did put him with really big guys.
Yeah.
Kane, him, like... Okay.
And that led to at the Royal Rumble in '96, he did the spinning kick off the top rope onto Razor Ramon and cost him the Intercontinental title to Goldust. And that led to the Crybaby match at In Your House 6.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, he the loser had to dress up like a baby, like had to get a diaper put on. And
really?
They put a bottle in his mouth.
Who lost that one?
X-Pac did.
He had to wear a diaper and everything?
Yeah,
Why haven't I seen
Razor
that?
put the diaper on him, and then he like put baby powder on him, and then on his face and all that stuff.
I really can't recall that.
Yeah.
I have to look that up. That's too
It's
funny.
a pretty obscure one, but it's actually pretty funny.
See, now with all the DVDs they've ever made, like you got 100 DVDs and 75 of the same thing on each one. Why is that something?
I don't know why that wasn't on the Click DVD.
The Click DVD. I was going to say, I've seen that. Why wasn't that on there?
Yeah, I know, right? With two of the main members of the Click, you would think that would have been on there.
That is weird.
Yeah. But then in '96, he jumps to WCW.
WCW. That was my Ted Turner.
Which doesn't surprise me. Two of his best friends, Hall and Nash, are already there.
And
why
they're
wouldn't
like,
you, you know?
They're pretty much strangleholding.
Yeah.
Maybe not at that point exactly, but they're the big guys to do shit with.
But he was supposed to be the fourth member. But because of his contract with WWF hadn't run out yet,
he couldn't debut
on TV. So DiBiase becomes number 4 as the spokesperson and the money backer for the NWO.
Right.
The Giant becomes number 5, and then they bring in Waltman as 6.
That's why he got the name X-Pac.
Yeah. And then also kind of you add 1, 2, 3 together, you get 6, which is kind of funny
I never
too.
really knew that.
That's why he was 6, because he was the 6th member.
That's kind of cool, actually.
What the fuck was his name going to be if he was the 4th member? But you know. But I mean, he was part of the original Wolfpack with Hall and Nash, and that was a really cool. I think that they had a really cool, just counterculture dynamic where Hogan was old school wrestling, cutting his wrestling promos. They were just trying to be teenagers. You know what I mean?
Immature little dipshits.
I mean, Waltman was still in his 20s, so it made sense, but Nash was at least in his 30s.
Right,
and
was
so
already,
Hall.
at that point, he must have blown his quad 12 times at that point.
Yeah.
Both of them, a piece.
But Waltman had a lot of neck injuries at that point, so he didn't wrestle very often. But I think the match that stands out is the ladder match with Eddie Guerrero at Sold Out from 1997.
Now, what was that for? Title?
Yeah, it was for I think it was for either the U.S. or the Cruiserweight title. Okay. But it was a really great ladder match.
Oh, I bet you got two high flying cruiserweights, lightweight guys at the time, because Guerrero wasn't stacked like he was. So they were. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I've seen the match personally, but I can only imagine.
And even on commentary, Bischoff mentions he got pointers from Scott Hall, the master of the ladder match. You know what I mean? Which is really, really a nice, tip of the hat to him to say, he learned all he knows about it from
the guy that was in the first.
Yeah.
Well, first.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. He had actually a really cool match at Slamboree in '97. They did a triple threat, a 6-man tag with Hall, Nash, and X-Pac against Roddy Piper, Kevin Green, and Ric Flair. And it was Ric Flair's first match back from rotator cuff surgery.
I love Flair.
And do you remember the parody the NWO did where Nash dressed up as Arn Anderson? And Waltman dressed up as Ric Flair.
Yes,
and Flair was really pissed about that.
Yeah.
And they had actual heat. And so it was really cool that Flair was really laying in the chops during that 6-man tag and stuff.
Putting it in.
Yeah, it was, and Waltman had just come off of his neck injury too, so he was whipping his head back and shit. And it was a really cool match.
It's nice when that reality slips in a little bit.
Yeah, and it was kind of
adds to it.
When the NWO was really starting to be at its peak, and the crowd was really hot for Kevin Green and Piper, and that match got. Remember, like, the Canadian Stampede, how hot that crowd was for the Hart Foundation?
For the Hearts?
That crowd, it was a hometown crowd for Kevin Green. They were pretty much that hot for that team. Yeah, it was cool. When they won at the end, it was just the crowd popped like crazy for that. It was cool to see, knowing the heat that they had, because the internet was starting to come in back then. And,
exactly.
You knew about the heat, from the dirt sheets and all that stuff. So it was really cool to see that dynamic.
I almost actually wore my Piper shirt today, but I was like, nah, I'm not throwing this on. So that would have been kind of funny.
I mean, there's really not much, because with his neck injuries, he really didn't do much in WCW after that. So
what did he win? Just Cruiserweight title, or was it U.S. title?
No, I think Cruiserweight was really the only one he. So then, like we mentioned, in '98, he returns in April, the night after WrestleMania, to join
Yes,
DX.
it was the night after WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yes.
And then, of course, you add the New Age Outlaws, which, you know, they were originally planned to be in DX to begin with.
Mhm.
That was actually Sean and Hunter wanted them to be part of it. But I think McMahon wanted them to gain more steam before they brought them in, you know.
Oh, you didn't know?
You asked me to call somebody.
You can't say ass. They don't say ass on WWE.
We say fuck all the time.
We are sponsored by the World Wrestling Federation.
We're not sponsored by shit. Although, shit paper.
Shit paper. Strong holding, intimate to the touch. Shit paper. That's what you need to
We
wipe
need to
with.
make that a fucking shirt.
I'm telling you, man.
We need to make that a
I
shirt.
came up with it on the spot, and it just is an endorsement that'll never happen.
But he didn't wrestle much for the beginning because of his neck
Because of his
issues and
neck.
stuff, but he did a lot to enhance
that group and himself.
Yep.
Yes. And at that time, because me being like 6, 7, they were badasses.
Yep.
Now, I didn't have a concept of what a badass was because, you know, at that point, a lot of your wrestlers were over the top, big, colorful, wearing purple underwear, coming out with a big, you know, to-do, where these guys look like dudes right off the street that go in there and kick ass. That's what gravitated me to them, because it was like, they don't look like wrestlers. They just look like cool guys wearing sunglasses, leather jackets. You know, Triple H, after he, you know, when he finally did the game promo and he had that black leather backwards hat, they just looked like guys like, you know, like I'm a kid. It's like, man, when I grow up, I want to be cool like them. I don't want to be like, grow up and be like Hardcore Holly. Like, yeah, sure, he looks cool, but he just, I want to be him. I want to be X-Pac, Triple H, Road Dogg. Like, those guys were awesome. So,
but they kicked ass when they were in the ring.
No, exactly.
And you had
great.
Triple H, who was the kick-ass, you know, just heavy of the group. You had X-Pac, who was the, you know, the chicken shit kind of, you know,
but could still stomp your ass in if he got the advantage.
And then you had the New Age Outlaws, who would just take every advantage of everything they could and would just screw everybody they could to get where they wanted to. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, the dude's name, actually, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its soon-to-be tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. And if you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you. Suck it. There we go. We threw that right in there. Was that good? Does that work?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were just awesome.
Yep.
Like, they were awesome. I mean, Billy Gunn, we've met him once or twice?
A couple times, yeah.
Just a cool dude.
And bigger than you would expect. That dude is huge.
He is. He's massive.
Yep.
He's massive.
He
really
and
is.
I don't know what it is about watching him on TV. You don't think they're as tall as they are.
Yeah, X-Pac. He looks like a tiny little shit, but...
Same with, like, Jack Swagger. Like, we said that about... Dude, fucking huge.
We the people. I love Swagger.
But there's not really many matches to talk about that he was in '98 because he didn't wrestle. I mean, he had some with Owen Hart and stuff, but he really didn't wrestle a match in '98. I think the stuff with Shane McMahon is what you really need to, you know, over the European title at WrestleMania and all that.
You definitely have to mention the Nation of Domination moment.
Yeah.
Like that
parody was amazing.
Right. He comes out, I mean, to do blackface at that time, like... All of them?
Even at that time was
right, that's what I'm saying. To do blackface, and not even blackface, but black. You went full...
But JR in his podcast said that they got permission from every single person in the nation
I bet.
to do blackface, you know.
But still, even if you were cool with the guys in your niche, to put it out there for the public to either accept it or scrutinize it. That's what I'm saying. Like, how does the public deal with that? It wasn't racism by any means, but to interpret it that way, you could have. I mean, I loved it. That shit. What am I, a damn Harvard?
Yep.
Like, that stuff was awesome.
I can't believe they haven't used Jason Sensation for more stuff.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I kind of figured he might have just kind of...
But, I mean, there's actually a backstory to when X-Pac says it smells like shit, but I think I'll eat some anyways.
Yeah.
At one point, X-Pac shit in Mark Henry's food, and he didn't know it, and he actually ate it.
What?
So that was actually a rib on Mark Henry to mention it on live TV.
Why? That was a rib he was doing to him? Like not the parody part, but like.
The parody part was a rib to tell the world.
No. I mean, why did he shit in his food? Was that a rib as well?
Well, yeah, it was too, but you know.
That's not a rib, man.
That's horrible.
You shit in my food and I eat it, I'm putting my foot so far up your ass, you're never going to eat anything again.
Well, that's like when in the mid-'90s when the Godwins used to slop Sonny with the slop bucket.
What was in it, poop?
People would shit and piss in the bucket. Before, I like house shows and stuff, they wouldn't do it at TV because like more people were around and shit.
What?
That's fucking horrible.
Why would you do that?
To me, that's not playing a joke on somebody. To me, that's fucking bullying
that's
or being
degrading.
Yeah, that's being
harassing.
Bad. Yeah, to shit in somebody's food and they eat it. That to me, that's not a rib. That's not a joke.
If we were doing a slop yard match, whatever, I would just take a bucket and fill it with Dinty Moore beef stew.
They filled it with like stuff from catering and all that stuff.
Oh my
you know what I mean?
God! I've seen Sonny get covered in some pretty gross stuff over the
years. Yeah, I gotta do a Skype with her. And
I would. Fuck it. You fat and old. I don't care. Sonny, I've had you. Yeah, remember the class? Yeah.
Oh boy, we're sharing stuff now.
I had him give me the porno before. Sorry, Mama T.
But the stuff with Shane, it led into the Mean Street Posse becoming a thing.
Loved it.
And
how do you not love the Mean Street Posse? Joey Abs, Pete Gas, and Rodney.
And even for Shane being inexperienced as he was, I thought that match at WrestleMania was actually a really good match. He sold for X-Pac really well.
That guy sells really well, except for when he's doing a move.
Yeah, when he's doing punches, he fucking looks like
is it like that?
He looks like an epileptic.
I feel like he's one of them. The robots.
The Rock'em Sock'em
robot.
Just
he can only do this. And he's supposed to be like an MMA trained guy.
Yeah,
dude. He literally like. He doesn't...
And he does them really fast, and it looks even worse.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like a little kid with a Rock'em Sock'em robot. It's awful.
But you mentioned Kane in '99. He teamed with Kane.
Yep.
And I thought that was a really cool dynamic of X-Pac kind of talking for Kane, but also bringing him out of his shell.
Exactly.
At the same time.
That's what I remember the most is... Because Kane, what was it, 97? 98 he debuted?
97, yeah.
97 at Unforgiven, right?
Oh, Bad Blood.
Bad Blood, I'm sorry.
Yep.
It was the match he had, the Inferno match, that was at Unforgiven, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, he debuts at Bad Blood, rips the cage door off. That's really your introduction. So from then all the way to that moment, you never had character depth really with Kane. He was like awesome and over as fuck because of the Undertaker and all the ministry. But like X-Pac really did bring him out of that shell and give him more of a personality.
Before that, the only time he spoke was in the lead up to him against Austin. He said he put the thing on his throat and said, if I don't win the match, I'll set myself on fire. So that's the only time he ever spoke.
Right,
so
and it really wasn't. It was for just that little moment. It wasn't like, oh, this will carry on.
Yeah.
I loved X-Pac with him, the tag champions.
Yeah, and then with the feud with them against Undertaker and Big Show, I thought was a really cool dynamic.
Yep. Yeah, that is good shit actually. I wish they would do a whole DVD set of
and then
that's cool.
That was around the time that DX kind of folded for a while when Triple H was going for that title run.
Right, he was kind of leaving it.
Yeah, and then they brought it back again at the end of '99 into 2000.
And then it kind of drizzled right after that.
Yeah, Billy Gunn got hurt, so he started teaming with Road Dogg. And I thought that was actually a pretty cool tag team.
Yeah, because then it turned into a feud, right? Didn't it turn into a feud shortly after that?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And before that you had the feud with Kane where Tori was like, Kane's girlfriend, and then she went with X-Pac and all that. And
that's right.
But
yeah, it was good stuff.
And then in 2000, he did that match with Road Dogg at SummerSlam, and then for a couple months he really didn't do anything. And then he had the series of matches with Jericho, which I thought were really good. And they didn't really do much with it, but their matches were amazing.
Were good.
The cage match where X-Pac was up on top of the door of the cage, and then Jericho kicked it out, and he kind of crotched himself on it. I thought that was a really cool thing. Yep. They haven't done that again, which I thought they would have kind of done that in a match. But
yeah, no, right? That's just seems like an easy spot.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's weird to see where he's heavily featured on some things,
and then other things he just
peters
pushed
right out. Yeah.
Like I know you're gonna maybe you don't have oh shit. X Factor on there. You probably
Oh, I didn't even think about X Factor.
which not really that big of a deal.
Right.
I mean,
Which it could have been.
It could have been, absolutely.
But I think with them concentrating so much on that Alliance storyline,
it took away from
it's
Test
at the wrong
and
time,
Albert.
wrong place.
Exactly.
You know?
And even then, I don't think they really ever knew what to do with Albert
Yeah.
once he was with a group. I mean, I always felt like they were just a group to say they were a group. They had no purpose, no rhyme.
And I understand that you wanted X-Pac to be the leader, but he did not need to be the spokesperson for that group. Just Incredible should have been the spokesperson for that group. He could cut way better promos than X-Pac.
I don't know why I said Test. I kept thinking TNA.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, but
yeah, exactly.
But that really, in 2001, that's really the only thing, his claim to fame in 2001 was X Factor.
And I hated the music.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, at the Invasion pay-per-view, he was light heavyweight champion, and he wrestled Billy Kidman. But that was just a throwaway thing to have somebody that they knew could have a good match with Billy Kidman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So 2001, and then 2002, they reformed the NWO, and he's in it for a little bit. And
was he really in it for a little bit? I just remember it being Hall, Nash, and Hogan again.
Yeah, and once Hall left, they brought X-Pac in to kind of fill that void. And then Kane got injured. He was supposed to feud with Kane, and then he went to TNA.
Went to TNA, yep.
You know, and that really, there's not much to talk about there either.
No, and any of his runs in TNA.
He did a little bit in 2002, 2003. In 2005, he did some good matches with Raven.
And he had a couple of matches with Styles, I remember, that were decent.
Yeah.
Because Styles was still pretty new.
And X-Pac was still young at that point, too, so... But there wasn't really much to talk about.
No,
you know,
exactly. And like, even his return to TNA in, 2010?
Yeah.
It was just because his name.
He was the little buddy to Hall and Nash again. He really wasn't,
And that was just because Hogan was trying to, that nostalgia shit, bringing in the Nasty Boys, bringing in, the Clique, as they did call them. It really isn't much to talk about there.
He's pretty much done indies and, appearances and stuff.
He did a sex tape.
Yeah.
Might as well say it. We talked about Sonny being sex, so X-Pac did a sex tape.
I'm sure you can still find it if you want to watch it.
If you want to see it, it's just like that.
It's still up.
You've seen it?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell? I haven't even seen it. You've seen it?
Yeah.
You watched China Get Plugged?
It's like One Night in China or something. She did a couple videos for Vivid Video, too, by herself, too.
Wow. So. You watched that old China doll get plugged. Hey, I'm not hating. I just need some appreciating.
Stuff.
I know,
One thing that I always wondered was when they did reform DX like in 2006 and stuff like that, they never brought him back for any of that.
And they always teased like the idea of we need more people or there's. They always did. They always made it seem like not X-Pac specifically, but the group's coming back. The group, because they even re-released the DX DVD set.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my god, it's only a matter of time.
And it's not like you had to bring him back for the full feud either. Just bring him back here and there.
Run-ins and shit. Like, oh shit, X-Pac. Exactly.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Throwaway stuff that Vince McMahon apparently doesn't like to do.
But it was actually really cool to see him get inducted into the Hall of Fame this year with DX.
He was honestly, I loved it, but they made it a joke.
Yeah.
X-Pac was the only one that really was like serious about it.
Yeah.
He had like a speech and everything. Like he really wanted, because I mean, you think about it, all those other guys, I mean, all of the DX guys are recognizable, but like I bet in my psychological thinking, he probably thinks I'm the little guy. I'm finally getting recognized. Let me treat this the way it should be treated. And I love that.
And I think most of the other guys have been in the WWE bubble for so long. The Hall of Fame is kind of just another event to them.
Right, to them.
It's special, but to him,
it's like, I don't know if I'll be here as 1, 2, 3
he's
kid
not
ever.
Figured into a lot of stuff, so that means a lot to him.
And that's how I felt about it when I was watching his thing, and I thought it was cool that they did get inducted. I'm glad China got inducted, and it wasn't just, well, we know she was here, we're just gonna...
And they didn't really push her off to the side. They mentioned her a lot in it, which made made it really good.
Yeah, well, it was good to see him get inducted, because like the whole the synopsis you just gave us, he's had a good run.
He has
to deserve that,
and especially for somebody who didn't get to wrestle as much as he could have, without the neck injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Like he put on some really good matches with Owen Hart and Bret Hart, and I think if he hadn't been injured, he would have been factored in more because he was so in with the Clique.
So would you say
know what I mean?
Because of his injuries, they were an X factor?
Yes, they were.
I know that one's not as good as my dumb blonde joke I came up with last time, but I'm trying.
So I kind of wanted to talk about DX a little bit. I don't want to dive into it too much. But in 97, they started getting edgier. And, with the product, with Austin, and even Bret Hart. Bret Hart was getting really edgy with the stuff, saying stuff about America.
I was going to say, being
shaped like a toilet bowl and all that stuff. And, we don't kill people up in Canada. We don't do drugs like you do down here and all that stuff.
Now, it's totally random, but you're saying Bret Hart right now. Who do you think's better, Sting or Bret Hart?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good one, huh? I saw this
talking as character,
overall, character and wrestler.
God, I'd have to say Sting.
Yes,
just because Bret, yes, his character evolved in '97, and
right.
But Sting just, he was the surfer Sting, and then it went into the Crow, and then it went into the Wolfpack. And then when he came into WWE, it was still the Crow, but it wasn't. You know what I mean?
TNA.
In TNA, he just evolved completely.
I saw that question thrown around like a week or two ago online.
Yeah, as far as breadth of character development and match quality, I would have to go with Sting. But I love Bret Hart.
Right.
Bret Hart, consistency with Bret Hart. He was the rock of that company once Hogan was gone.
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to ask that.
Yeah. But, and that kind of led into DX with them feuding with Bret Hart, and it gave a perfect foil for Triple H and Shawn Michaels to play off
because
of,
he was the perfect good guy.
He was the straight-laced guy.
Exactly.
And it gave them... But you had the promos with Sergeant Slaughter where Shawn Michaels had the European title up to his face, and then he would pull it down and he would stick his tongue out.
Yeah, exactly.
And he would call him Sergeant Slobber. And they had the face mask with the windshield wipers, and... That shit was classic.
That was my first introduction to Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Which, me not knowing who the guy was, I never understood. Why is he their punching bag? I don't get this guy.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I was like, holy shit, this guy's a former world champion and he's a military dude? How dare they disrespect him?
And then they had him as the tough commissioner for a while.
Yeah, they did.
And then he was one of McMahon's minions again and did nothing.
He was a lackey.
Yep. But they did the Sunny Days promo where they alluded to Bret Hart having an affair with Sunny and stuff, and DX at that time was just coming into their own, and I thought some of the stuff they did was amazing.
Yeah.
And
pushing that envelope. For sure.
And of course in '98 Michaels leaves the group because of his back injury, but you had Mike Tyson come into it for a while, which was really cool.
Hyped it up. It really, even though he turned on DX at the end, it was still shit, where do you go now? I gotta see this.
And he fit into it so well because of the controversy of biting Evander Holyfield's ear, and he just had that badass, just enigmatic persona to him, from the boxing world.
Right, he never even needed to get on a mic. His his persona, his own look and everything just carried that weight.
He's one of the few celebrities that did not look awkward doing the crotch chop. It fit him perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys that do it just look fucking awkward as hell. Yeah, but he did it so well. It was really funny.
He did.
But
and it was cool to see Mike Tyson return a decade later with DX on. Yep. Was he the host?
I think he was the host of Raw when they did it.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool to see that come full circle years later.
And I put Swerve Bro, after the WrestleMania time. I was like that. I just, little Vince Russo in there. But, of course, you had the X-Pac and New Age Outlaws join, which added a whole new dimension to DX, and it kicked it off. They went to greater heights with them. It was, But I wanted to mention the dumpster match with the New Age Outlaws and Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. That match, they were doing hardcore stuff at that point.
How do you think they pushed him? 10 feet?
Oh, yeah, that was, and that was a great lead up to it. Yeah, that was off the stage.
All that shit was great.
They padded it, you know what I mean? But still, that was,
That was awesome. I could watch that all day long, especially when they're in the back in the kitchen, slamming each other on, racks of the trays and just beating the shit out of each other.
And it goes to show you, Terry Funk and Mick Foley did not give a fuck about their own body.
My Mick!
And of course, in '98, they invaded the WCW show in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yoo-hoo! Anyone home?
And Bischoff has talked about it on his podcast. He was
pissed
like,
him right off, didn't it?
Well, no, he loved it.
Really?
He was like, if I knew they were outside the building, I would have opened the door and let them in.
Oh, could you imagine that?
Because he would have been like, it would have been perfect.
Could you imagine that as like watching that as that unfolded?
He was like, but I couldn't because I was in a copyright lawsuit with them over the Razor and Diesel stuff. You know what I mean? Because Hall and Nash, when they first came in, they kind of were sticking to their WWF gimmick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know who we are,
yeah, and he
but
had
you
the
don't know
toothpick
why we're here.
Right.
Exactly.
But so he was like, I would have done it. But I would have been fired because Turner would have been all over me because they were in the lawsuit at the time.
But I love wrestling. I am a wrestling fan.
Yeah, but he was like, Turner legal, they would have had to fire me at that point.
Could you imagine that, though, watching that blast door open up?
Yeah.
And then fucking ride right in? Because then it would have cut right to WCW camera. You would have seen DX driving into that would have been nuts.
And a lot of people were like, well, wouldn't they have gotten beat up and stuff? He was like, hell no. How many of their friends were there? You know what I mean?
Right. Hall and Nash would have never have let that happen.
He was like, the people were like, oh, you could have had, like, Mang and all these badasses, like the Barbarian, standing guard. He's like, fuck, I would have let him in. He's like, I wouldn't have given two shits about, them coming in.
That would have been cool, though.
Yeah. Vince would have flipped, but,
But at that point, what do you do?
At that point, you do it and ask for forgiveness later.
You're already there.
Yep.
Like, what more? You're inside the building interviewing people. How much you pay for them tickets? I didn't pay anything. They were free.
Yep.
Like, you're already adding insult to injury. That would have just been the cream of the crop.
And that, when they invaded the CNN Center, too, a little bit, they had dummy tapes with them. So if CNN said, hey, you've got our logo up, in your videos, we're confiscating that. They were going to give them the dummy tapes and just go
away.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
But then, we'll kind of play on that idea. And then you get in TNA, and you've got Kip James.
Yep.
And
BG James.
BG James.
Yep.
He's a stupid name. The James Gang, but at that point, they were the VKM.
Yep.
Clever, Voodoo Kin Mafia, invading Stamford, Connecticut.
Yep.
Not to that degree.
And they got sued for that,
Did
too.
they really?
Yep, because they showed the headquarters with the logo.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That should have just been good fun for everybody.
Yeah, they got a
involved.
cease and desist on it, yeah.
I remember watching that on TNA thinking, they are nuts! And of course, Markadius, the VKM, is a knock at Vince McMahon because his initials are VKM. So they changed their little name to Voodoo Kin Mafia, but they came out with
They
the
did
acronym.
have a cool shirt, though. I thought the shirt was cool.
And then when they
the
introduced
Voodoo.
Roxy,
Yeah.
it all worked. It
Yep.
played out, but it was still like, that's a moment that to me, it stands out in TNA because it was that was cool.
Of course, we got to talk about Triple H and HBK reforming DX in 2006.
Right, even though it has nothing to do with X-Pac, it's still in the
DX,
wheelhouse with DX, of
and we
course.
kind of like to, go off a little bit off the rails.
Off
as we got
the rails!
All right.
I don't know anymore.
The build up to that was actually pretty cool with Triple H,
feuding one thing, Shawn Michaels having his own storyline, and then they kind of had to come together.
Yeah, and Vince kind of playing that role he did with Austin of just the evil boss and
boss.
trying to do whatever he could to ruin the lives of DX.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pure comedy.
Oh, yeah.
But the matches were good.
Yeah, they were, man.
That they really picked up the intensity in the matches.
I liked it when they feuded with Legacy.
Yeah.
I liked that shit a lot. I thought
And that was in 09.
That was in 09, but I mean, that's still, whatever.
Yeah.
I loved that stuff.
I mean, the stuff with the Spirit Squad, the matches were pure comedy, but with the Hell in a Cell with Big Show,
With Big Show and
I mean,
Vince.
a little bit of comedy with putting their face,
But that's DX-esque stuff. It wasn't just in there. That's like, oh no, that's shit they would do.
And that was the first time they debuted the taller Hell in a Cell
hate
too.
it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I wish they would have kept the original.
I don't even like that. I hate the newest one.
Yeah.
Why? Why does it have to be bright candy apple red? What the fuck?
But you mentioned 09. I think a match we've got to mention with Legacy is the Submissions Count Anywhere match.
Yep.
That
I
tag
cannot
match.
believe. I still, as I'm sitting here today, can't believe they won that.
Yeah.
It's just like I never would have.
And then you broke up Legacy at WrestleMania the next,
What the
few
fuck
months
was
later.
with Ted's ear? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What was that? An infection or some shit? His ear was all nasty and pussy and white
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
lumpy. I watched that match like maybe a year ago now, and I still remember it because they divided and conquered.
Yep.
They brought Shawn Michaels to the back, beat the shit out of fucking Triple H. Triple H makes it to the back. Shawn Michaels is already half dead. They beat the shit out of Triple H. Then they drag Shawn Michaels back out, beat the shit out of him. It was such a good story of like these young up-and-comers having no background of being tough guys, just the fact that our dads were superstars, so we are too. I love that shit.
And using DX to kind of push them, but then you really didn't afterwards. But they were the perfect, foil for Legacy.
They really were.
You know?
They really were. It was good stuff.
TLC in, I believe it was 2009.
Yep.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels won the tag titles for the first time for Jericho in the ladder match, which was really cool that they had never won the tag titles as DX.
And I think it's funny that it's the first time they ever won it, and like Triple H was absolutely like, I hate this because I don't want to carry the belts.
Yep.
I want one fucking belt.
Yep.
And then after they lose it, they go down to one belt.
Yep.
I mean, I can't. Other than Steve Austin, Triple H has never been a tag team champion, really.
With Austin and I can't really think of anybody else.
When they were the two-man power trip and then just that DX?
Yeah, to be honest, I really don't. Because with Evolution, it was Flair and Batista that were tag champs. So, yeah.
Which I think is cool because he got to hold it with his best friend and then arguably the greatest character in professional wrestling history.
I think the most popular, yeah.
Right, and then when I saw him on the Raw reunion, they were hugging and shit, and I was just like, man, that's not why you should be doing the show, like the ratings and stuff, but I thought that was cool to see Triple H and Austin on screen together, because I can't remember the last time Austin was on WWE TV, let alone interacting with guys like that, so I thought that was kind of neat.
I wanted to mention the thousandth episode of Raw.
Speaking of legacy, Manu was here.
With
the 1000th.
With DX in the ring. And the interaction with Shawn Michaels and Billy Gunn, where they were both trying to do the "if you're not down with that part."
That's my line kind of deal.
And Triple H gets on Billy Gunn's shoulder and says, Billy, just let him have it because he'll lose his smile again.
Right.
I thought that stuff was great and typical DX. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So.
And the cool thing is you don't know what of that is even like scripted, or they just go out there and just like, hey, you know what? We know each other so well. Let's go out there and do what we gotta do.
I think really they need to do that for everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's guys that just aren't good talkers that you need to script their promos like Roman Reigns. But a lot of these guys, I think they're letting Kevin Owens go right now.
They need to. He's the greatest. He's the best guy on the mic right now in their company.
I think they need to let Miz go.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't think give him bullet points and let him go.
Yep.
I don't like Ziggler, but I think he's one guy that can carry promos on his own. You know what I mean?
I can't even believe he's still with them right now.
I kind of think if you gave Corbin a little rope and let him go.
Dave, are you?
I don't like Corbin.
Wait a minute. Are you kind of putting Corbin over a little?
A little bit, a smidge.
Mark it down. Mark your calendars. That's in stone. He just put over Baron Corbin a little bit.
Another one is they need to let McIntyre go. Because McIntyre did some good shit in TNA.
The problem,
he did some really good promos.
And we've said it a million times with WWE. They have too many people.
They do.
They've got too many people, and they want I don't want to say it like that. They have too many people where too many of them should be stars, and you're not doing anything with any of them. But you just have them to have them, so they don't go nowhere else.
Yep.
And
I think if they did more exclusive shows on the network and they made them mean something, not like main event or
superstars,
but where they piped it up where you have to have the network to kind of follow these storylines, like Sunday Night Heat. You had to tune into Sunday Night Heat to see what's going on for the other shows.
The other show, right? Exactly.
But
I miss those Sunday Night Heat and Velocity and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought those were great. Little just segues into what's coming.
We've talked about it a lot. They have so many stars and do not know what to do with them.
But let's just keep making stupid network original stuff. Not saying all of it's stupid, but there's so much on there where it's like that. Why? That's just wasting.
I don't know how people find time to watch all that shit. I don't.
A lot of people.
I'm like 3 months behind on NXT, and I used to watch it every fucking week.
I know. Actually, when I found out my boss was a big wrestling fan, I told him about the podcast. I was like, yeah, check it out, blah, blah, we talk about wrestling and all this. And he goes, oh, did you see the Raw reunion? I go, no, man, I'm like 2 months behind right now or something like that. He's like, oh, it was okay, this, and that. So that's why I actually checked out what I did, because I didn't know there was a Raw reunion. Like, I don't see it advertised anywhere. Like, why? Why all of a sudden now?
Yep. It made no sense. It was just random, out of nowhere. It wasn't in a ratings period where you want them to spike.
Right, it wasn't close to, like, your 1,500 episodes.
And it's not where, like, AEW is debuting. Wouldn't you do that in October, right around the same time the AEW is debuting? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do it as a fucking special on the day that they're debuting, head-to-head. I'm sure USA would be happy to get the ratings on a Wednesday.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Right, you've already got a show on, what, Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday, Friday?
NXT is on Wednesdays on the network. But,
oh, is it? I thought for some reason
there was talk of NXT going to a network to compete because they figured that AEW would go on Wednesdays. But my problem is that's going to totally dilute the NXT
you're going to take away from it, because now you're putting too much in to take away from them and not enough
the
to
whole
build
point
you.
of NXT is it's an underground
concept.
It's under the WWE banner, but it's not on a network. You know what I mean? It's on the network exclusively.
Right.
You're going to hurt that product majorly if you put that on a network.
I agree with that. And in my opinion, honestly, I think from the last few NXTs I've seen, they are getting too WWE in ways.
Some of it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, too... I don't know how else to say it other than when I'm watching it, I just feel it's like, no, that just kind of feels a little overplayed. Like, I like Velveteen Dream, but I feel like he's too... He needs to be on the Raw roster or something, because he's just not fitting the bill of what NXT is right now or something.
When he first debuted, it fit because it was completely different from anything they were doing, but now you've seen it so much.
Right, so when it goes to the main roster, are you going to keep that, or are you completely going to get rid of that?
I mean, are you going to push him like you did Goldust? Because then that makes sense. Right. But if you're just going to put him on the main roster and just have him do the gimmick and make no rhyme or reason...
To be the next Fandango, essentially.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Tyler Breeze, he did the supermodel thing, and then once he got to the main roster, it was just, well, we're not even going to explain why. You know what I mean? Like, why does he have the selfie stick? Why is he so into himself? Why don't you say that he's a fucking supermodel and all that
that's what
stuff,
they need to go back to vignettes.
They really do.
Imagine just Tyler Breeze specifically doing vignettes like old school Ted DiBiase's. Of him showboating, going around, like, I'm just picturing right now, like the Ted DiBiase kind of one, walking around like a public swimming pool with a selfie stick, and him being like, gosh, I can't get a good picture because all these people are, like, just disgusting and behind me, and just show him being arrogant other than 20 minutes at a time, if that, every week during a match, and him just posing on the ring. Like,
and they used to do, back in the 80s, they used to do, like, the $1 Million Man, they did Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous at Vince McMahon's house.
Yes.
Do it at Vince McMahon's house again. Have Tyler Breeze out front saying, this is my house, I'm so good of a supermodel, I have a huge fucking house.
Right, exactly.
You know?
I don't understand why they don't do vignettes like that at all.
The fucking... The War Raiders or the Viking Raiders or whatever the fuck they're calling them now.
The shitty experience that they've
become. You could have done awesome fucking vignettes with them.
Yep.
Totally. Just like they're doing with Aleister Black, where they're kind of doing backstage vignettes with him. You could have had you could have rented a movie set and just had them, like, pillaging a fucking town.
Something,
you know what I mean? Throwing people around and shit. Yeah.
Right. Why are they called the... I mean, we know why they're the War Raiders, because they're fucking behemoths, they're Vikings, but without construct and a backstory, the regular WWE fans are looking at them as just dress up.
Yep, and your hardcore WWE fans have no idea about their character from Ring of Honor.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. And that's, I mean, I could specifically say with those guys, I have followed them for quite a few years now, specifically those two, before they were even in the same company together.
And it was awesome with Hansen when we got to see him in Northeast Wrestling as the champion.
King Hansen.
He had some awesome matches.
Yeah, he did. I mean, there are good big guys, but there's not many big guys that are as good as him.
And even Rowe's pretty mobile too when he gets going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. I love their look, and they just wash away now though. Like AOP.
Yeah.
Now, you don't need to say, why are they the authors of pain? Do they write books? No. Give me the backstory of, though, like, why they look like they're militia.
Yep.
Say that they're guerrilla warfare fighters or something that were, like, way too extreme for where they come from.
And you don't have to make it cartoony. You can make it reality-based.
Exactly. Yep. Like, those guys were sick. They were just badass. But we have nothing to do with X-Pac.
But off the rails, as usual.
Exactly. But, I mean... Just
got anything to add, Markadius? Or you
Markadius, what are your thoughts on... What got you... Like, how do you know about wrestling?
I used to love it in the 90s.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Fill in, like who?
Were you watching Attitude Era, or were you?
Oh man!
Like you'd watch WWF or WCW?
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I was always a WWF kid, but I really got into WCW after
I'm hanging my hat. I'm out of here. These guys are better than me.
Billy Kidman was my man.
Yeah,
that's cool,
nice, man. Nice.
Got into the video games like a little bit, and I liked it. I was a huge rock fan too. When it first came out.
I gotta say, on that notion, I hope to God the next time they do a Raw reunion or a special and The Rock shows up, I hope he fucking gets booed right out of that goddamn arena. You do a Raw reunion, you have Hogan, Flair, all them other amazing talents. Austin and Rock can't be bothered to show up. Like, I am so fucking over that guy as a wrestling icon at all. Like, clearly he is all about himself, and I don't give a fuck if they never reached out to him. I don't care if people want to chew me up and say, well, what if he was busy? I don't give a fuck.
He used to come back every once in a while, and he did that shit with Eugene and Coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? While he was still making movies.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And he wants to come in at the Royal Rumble and help Roman Reigns win the fucking thing, just so what? He can make an appearance.
Or they bitch CM Punk out to him so he can have a title to wrestle Cena. You know?
I fucking can't stand him at all now as an in-ring wrestling figure. Because it's just... You've got Ric Flair there, who's in the hospital now every fucking 3 weeks. Right? Legit.
Yeah.
You know, joking aside, you got him there. You got Hogan, who is like under scrutiny every other minute for some racial or sexual conduct. You got Austin, who doesn't even do any appearances anymore. You got all them there in one fucking show, and you can't even, like...
I mean, I hate to say this about Austin, but I think the only reason he showed up was because they talked about his beer.
Oh,
I really do. I think that's...
There was a WWE exclusive interview I watched with him where it said, don't say Austin's riding off in the sunset yet. So I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. So I'm watching it, and he's doing an interview, you know, WWE exclusive, and the very first thing they mention is his beer. He goes, yeah, the Broken Skull beer, it was great to have that out there and promote that, and a lot of emotion. I'm so goddamn proud of that. I'll drop you on that diamond neck, fucking whatever. I don't know what he's saying. But then again, he's like, I hope they do the Raw reunion every year. It's like, no, don't do that every year, because then you're just going to be fucking, it'll be a novelty.
Next thing, Barry Horowitz will be showing up as their legend, you know, the legend that they haven't had yet.
The goon.
So how long did you watch in the 90s, though?
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I stopped when Rikishi... Okay, so Stephanie McMahon and Rikishi were in the ring, and he did the stink face on her.
That just turned you right off?
And I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Now, why? Because
she ran right in the corner. She, like, put herself in the corner.
Oh, okay. So you saw through the ropes, essentially.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I don't know.
It took the suspension of disbelief right away from you. No, that's fair enough.
I like that you were a WCW fan. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Traitor motherfucker. Now, who else in, like... Other than, like, Kidman, like, do you remember, like, Hogan and stuff like that in WCW or not? Yeah. No?
I liked Billy Kidman and Sting and The Rock. That's, like, all I can remember.
Cool. Nice. So that's the stuff, man.
Cool.
Throw that little bit in there.
Yeah, it's cool that you have a connection with it. That's
Exactly.
And then the games, of course, like the PS1, the 64 games.
Yeah, 64 games. I will say those are the best wrestling games ever. I really will.
My favorite one is, I think, still WWE 2K13 that had Punk on the cover.
Yeah.
Because it just was full of Attitude Era guys, and I loved that
I would have to say No Mercy on the N64 because THQ had the rights. They had done the WCW games,
Right.
And they brought all the taunts and the mannerisms
from those characters and as default.
So you could create
Yes.
them on the fucking game. It was like, this is fucking amazing. I can create Jeff Jarrett and have him doing the goddamn strut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It was
They even
cool
had
stuff.
canyons, taunts and
better than Canyon?
they had the one with Roddy Piper jumping on his 1 foot, which he only did in one fucking promo in WCW. Because Mean Gene, it was after he had his hip surgery, and Mean Gene said, "How's the hip?" And Piper does lifts 1 foot up and hops on the other
Just
one to show.
basic,
Yeah, and they put that as a taunt in the fucking video game. I'm like, that's attention to detail, fucking crazy, you know?
I never knew that.
Yeah, but
No
I
shit.
don't know. Got anything else?
There was something wrestling I just was thinking of, and I watched another WWE exclusive with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
This was maybe a year or two ago. I can't remember exactly what the interview was, but it was Xavier Woods. Oh, it was for the 2K, whatever the last game he was on the cover of.
Yeah.
It was like the red carpet for that. So Xavier Woods is giving him an interview. So he's interviewing Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's totally in character. Lesnar, I loved watching it because Lesnar was great in it. But Paul Heyman was in character. He goes, "You refer to my client." He's like, "I'm not a manager." He goes, "I am an advocate. You need to start this whole interview over again. Just start this over." And Xavier Woods like, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Very funny stuff, right? So he's asking Heyman questions, yada yada, and then he goes to Brock Lesnar. Now it's like, I've never seen Xavier Woods and Lesnar even in the same breath, let alone the same room. This is cool. So Xavier Woods asks him, he goes, so like, Lesnar, what are your thoughts on being on the cover of this year's game? And Lesnar goes, well, Xavier, I think it's a real honor to be on the cover of the 2K, the newest game. It's fun. I love doing this crap, blah, blah, blah. He goes, the only thing I'm disappointed in, though, is you didn't bring me any booty-os. To hear Brock Lesnar say that, dude, is probably the coolest thing ever. Because you've heard the horror stories of how he has his own dressing room. He doesn't get along with the guys. He doesn't interact with the boys. So to hear him be like, I'm disappointed you didn't bring me any booty-os.
To me, I think he has his moments where he's with the boys, and then there's other times where he just doesn't fucking want to deal with anybody.
Right.
He wants to get his money and go home.
Which,
you know what I mean?
Whatever, fair enough. You heard it, big man. I love Lesnar. I love that he's champion.
I can see where people are pissed because he comes in and collects a paycheck and he's not there all the time.
Yep.
But
clearly, though, he's not. And maybe this is a shot at him, but not, because I don't mean it like that. He's not like a main attraction. If he's on the marquee, he's not the reason you're watching it.
Yep.
Like I think most people are saying he is. It's like, no, I think at this point, that's his character now, is to barely be there.
Yep.
Because the more you see him, the more he's overplayed, the less it's going to be.
And I think if you had less pay-per-views, he would mean more. Because you would be building up to a really big pay-per-view appearance from him, not just a random one at some random fucking pay-per-view.
No, it's
you know
true.
what I mean?
No, yeah.
Him
it's
showing
true.
up at Battleground, what the fuck,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And and speaking of real quick, people that just show up for pay-per-views.
Oh, The Undertaker? Yeah.
Holy fuck-a-lucka ding-dong. We are right now going to...
He is doing stuff, though. He's been on Raw and shit lately. But he should have retired a long time ago.
I saw you share a picture from it's a cartoon. I'm going to explain it. He shared a picture on Facebook of a little cartoon picture of a little kid and his father in 1990 holding up a sign that said, Undertaker yay, or something like that. And you see Undertaker making his debut, and then it said, what was it, 2000?
2000, it said 2015 goodbye or something like that.
Right, 2015. Now you see the kid as an adult with his old father.
With a sign that says
goodbye, which we all would have thought, and it shows Taker walking off in the sunset. And then the third one is same old man, same dad, 2018 or 2019, and just a sign that says why.
No, it says dude, what the fuck.
Or that's what it was.
WTF.
Dude, what the fuck.
Yep.
And it shows Taker walking to the ring.
Yep.
We are all thinking that.
Yeah.
And Dave and I wanted to publicly apologize for the snooze fest that was the showdown, because holy bonanza was that bad.
It was bad.
So if anyone watched it Sorry.
Listen to it just for the intro because I had fun making the intro.
Not even just the intro. There's a joke in there. There's that blonde joke.
Oh, yeah.
That was money. That was gold. Because you looked at me and you're like, did you just make that up? I was like, I did. That was gold.
Yeah, he made an original blonde joke up.
And it was a good one. It really was a good one. And I don't want to repeat it here.
I mean, I would recommend listening or watching anything we do ever, but, you know.
This is true. You can pay us to watch us, too. Be a Patreon and just give me money.
We tried so hard.
Yeah, pretty much.
We tried so hard to make that interesting, and it just was not.
I even shit my pants during it, and it just...
He even talked about taking a shit.
It's true. Right at the end, I did. I said, yeah, I'm going to go do it.
And I left it in. That's the actual outro. I did no music or anything. That's the outro to the show.
Shit happens when you're having fun. Well, what are we talking about in the next
wrestling ring, we are going with Hulk Hogan
and the Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, the Mega Powers.
I don't know if that'll be a one or a two-parter because there's a lot of meat on the bone for that, but I think that's a really great topic to go into is Hogan and Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
What about the comic shop?
Ooh, the comic shop. We're going to talk about the MCU, the Phase 4. So, that's the bell. Not the bell for the wrestling ring. That's more like a ding, ding, ding. The ling was for my bell in the door. I have autism.
Like Johnny Knoxville in The Ringer.
Oh my god. I can't believe that movie ever got made. That's
wouldn't be made now, that's for sure.
South Park got pissed off because...
There had a few lines that were good, though.
That one was a funny movie. It just was like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
You picked it up in pure daylight and broke it! Well, on that note, when the fuck did we get ice cream?
So, he's Ace Williams.
I'm Ace Williams.
I'm Markadius.
And I'm Deadly Dave. This has been The Wrestling Ring. Thanks for checking us out.
Wait, they check us out?
I might check you out. I don't know.
Check us out.
It's real simple. We got two words for you. Suck it!